In the early 1970s, young women across the United States began disappearing without explanation. They vanished from college campuses, busy sidewalks, and crowded public spaces, often in broad daylight. There were no witnesses, no screams, no clear suspects. And the most disturbing part was this: many of the women had last been seen helping someone who looked polite, intelligent, harmless. This is the true story of Ted Bundy, a man who didn't hunt in shadows, but in plain sight. And for years, America trusted him. Ted Bundy was born in 1946 and raised in Washington State. From the outside, his life appeared normal. He was intelligent, well-spoken, and ambitious. Friends described him as charming, thoughtful, even kind. He volunteered in political campaigns. He studied law. He dreamed of a future in public service. No one suspected that beneath the polished exterior was a personality built on manipulation, resentment, and control. Long before the murders began, Bundy struggled with feelings of inadequacy. He was deeply affected by rejection, particularly from women he idealized but could not possess. Over time, admiration curdled into entitlement, and entitlement turned into something far darker. In 1974, women began disappearing in Washington and Oregon. Many witnesses recalled seeing a man with his arm in a sling, asking for help loading books or equipment into his car. He introduced himself simply as Ted. The tactic was devastatingly effective. People trusted him. Why wouldn't they? He looked like a law student. He spoke calmly. He seemed injured. Victims went willingly. And once they were alone, the illusion shattered. Police struggled to connect the cases. Jurisdictions didn't communicate well. Missing person reports were handled separately. Patterns were slow to emerge. But survivors, those who escaped, began describing the same man. Same voice. Same smile. Same name. Ted. In 1974, a woman named Carol Durant narrowly survived an attack in Utah. She gave a detailed description of her attacker and later identified Ted Bundy in a lineup. This should have ended it. It didn't. Bundy was arrested but released on bail, and then he disappeared. Over the next several years, Bundy's crimes escalated in brutality and confidence. He crossed state lines, changed appearances, adapted his methods. In Colorado, he was arrested again, this time for kidnapping. While awaiting trial, he made a decision that stunned the country. He escaped from jail, not once, but twice. In 1978, Bundy fled to Florida. What happened next marked the most horrifying chapter of his crimes. At Florida State University's Chi Omega sorority house, Bundy entered in the middle of the night. Within minutes, multiple women were attacked. 2 were killed. Others survived, but would never be the same. For the first time, Bundy's crimes were impossible to ignore. The randomness, the savagery, the speed. This wasn't a calculated lure. It was desperation. Bundy was captured shortly afterward. This time, there would be no escape. But the story was far from over. Ted Bundy chose to represent himself at trial. He questioned witnesses, made objections, addressed the jury directly. The courtroom became theater, and Bundy loved it. Media coverage exploded. Cameras followed every movement. America watched as the man accused of unimaginable crimes smiled, joked, and argued legal points. Some people believed him. Others were mesmerized. In 1979, Bundy was convicted of murder and sentenced to death. Even then, he continued manipulating everyone around him. He gave interviews, hinted at confessions, withheld information. Only when execution became inevitable did Bundy begin to confess, revealing details only the killer could know. He admitted to dozens of murders, possibly more than 30. The true number may never be known. On January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed in Florida's electric chair. Outside the prison, crowds gathered. Some celebrated, some mourned, some simply watched. But Ted Bundy's legacy did not end with his death. His case transformed criminal profiling, changed how serial offenders are studied, exposed how charisma can mask danger, and it left behind one question that still unsettles us. How many warning signs do we ignore because someone doesn't look like a monster? At the beginning of this story, women vanished after offering help to a stranger. At the end, That stranger became one of the most studied killers in history, not because he was unique, but because he was familiar, and that is what made him terrifying.